بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين. Lovers of science, economics, statistics, mathematics, and business, business English and management also. Hi, hello everybody. I am very happy to meet you in this new video about the elements of business plan. And today we will deal with the most important element in the business plan, which is financial plan. Financial plan is most element of business plan. Yeah, it's not his business plan at all, but it is the most important element of in business plan. The most important element is financial plan. This is the seventh element and the most important. How we can finance our startup, how we can finance our project, how we can finance our product or our service or our enterprise. Okay, we will see that this in the definition and elements of business of financial plan. We start with methodology of financial plan. Financial analysis is important, but it is not the business plan. Yeah, we have other elements that we deal before, and also another element which is risk analysis, but it's most important in business plan. Spreadsheets all too easily proliferate, obscuring the financial essentials. They give you the financial essentials or the most important data of your financial case, or how to finance your project, and the prediction of profits and costs of your project. Incomes and costs of your project. The purpose of the finance section is the first purpose. The first purpose is to set out the financial application of your strategy. How to it's very important, the financial implications of your strategy, of your vision, mission, and strategy, essentially strategy. The second objective is to provide, or second purpose is to provide a measure of performance, how to measure your performance, the performance of your startup or your enterprise. And the third purpose is to substantiate your financial requirements, is to substantiate your financial requirements, how what you need in your to finance the needs and requirements of to finance your project or your startup. Detailed financial data is best kept to an appendix, annex in French, appendix in English, comprising sales forecast, the forecasting of sales, profit and loss account, balance sheet, le bilan, balance sheet, cash flow forecast, break-even analysis, l'analyse de points de points d'égalité. This is in English. We say break-even analysis, which is very important in cost in managerial accounting, or in cost accounting, la comptabilité analytical accounting also. We say in English, in French, analytical accounting. Ideally, the period covered by the forecast should be 3 to 4 years. Okay. To make the right strategy or the right policies, it's very important that this period, this plan covered 3 to 4 years, 4 years as a period in moyen term, not in long term, in middle term in English. We say middle term. Rarely will a forecast of less than 3 years suffice. Okay, we must 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years to forecast the results, financial results, finance incomes, balance sheet, profit and loss in 3 or 4 next years. Ensure that all financial data is self-explanatory and not encumbered with endless notes, which is very important to make notes. Okay. The plan itself should contain a narrative summary covering the summary of financial plan, key assumptions underpinning your forecasts in the future, expected sales growth year by year, or sales increasing year by year, sensitivity of the forecast, sensitivity analysis, which is very important in statistics and forecasting, of the forecast to any change in a significant variable. What are these significant variables? Like price, cost, sales volume, etc. Cash flow, cash requirement, and major items affected this. Example, credit control. Capital investment needs and anticipated by payback on this investment. Realistic and pessimistic scenarios in those areas where forecasting uncertainties and greatest, okay, example, sales or cash flow. Okay, we are in uncertainties, and also we have uh, in these variables, uncertainties are greatest or are big, like sales, are great, like sales and cash flow, and also costs, and also your incomes or outcomes and revenues. Financial requirements, the purpose to which the finance will be put, and estimated future needs, including the timing of this. Contingency awarenesses, which is very also important. In preparing this narrative summary, it is important to remember that your figures will be compared with those prevailing elsewhere in the industry. Therefore need to be consistent with actual experience. The most common problem with business plans is over optimism, and an unrealistic assessment of just how long it will take to achieve your goals. It is very important to be realistic, not unrealistic. Leaving things out or disguising difficulties in short sights, not in long sights, in short sights. Eventually, they will emerge, and you will lose credibility if it takes someone else to flush out omissions. Okay, you must gain your credibility versus your partners, your suppliers, your creditors. This is very important. Okay, uncertainty pervades any plan and doesn't provide an adequate reason for not forecasting in the first place. Do your forecasts, but highlight key assumptions and areas of uncertainty. You must highlight, and also you must determine exactly what are assumptions and areas of uncertainty. Okay, this is the methodology of your financial plan. The second element, which is very important, or the second axis, this is elements of financial plan. What are elements or financial plan? We have the first, operating and or startup costs. What are startups costs for startup and operating costs for enterprise? You must answer these questions, or these main questions. First, how much money do you have? How much money do you have? Okay, your cash money, your own money, and what is the actual amount of money you need. You need requirement. You need to open your business. Realistic startup budget. Okay, realistic startup budget. This is very important to define your financial requirement. The second question is how much money is needed to keep the business open. Realistic operating budget. The first is for startup. The second is for operating, for the enterprise existing. The third question is about what source of funding do you anticipate? Explain where you are going to get funding from, and how you are going to apply these funds. This is very important. If you have your own funding, our funds, or your cash flow auto financement, and if you will get the money from creditors like banks, like partners, and from securities, shares, and also bonds. This is very important. Okay, the structure of financing your startup or your enterprise. The second axis is financial analysis, which is very important in our financial plan. Prepare or break-even analysis, how many units of your products or service will have to be sold to cover your costs. Okay, the costs here in this point, costs equal equal profits. Okay, equal outcomes. Costs equal outcomes here. This is a break-even analysis point, which and we know it means break-even point in analytical accounting or in cost accounting. Reinforce your final projection by comparing them with industry average for your chosen industry. Okay, if you are in a chosen industry, you have references, you have average references, and you compare your result or your performance with this indicator, which is your reference in the industry. The third axis is financial history. Here for an existing business, not for startup, an existing business. The first is explain the past financial performance of your business, historic of your business. Explain the past financial performance of your business. Has the business been profitable or no in the past? State any problems that you encountered and how you resolved them in the past. What measures are in place to ensure that the above mentioned problems will not arise again? Okay, this is very important. Prepare an income and cash flow statement by month by month for the first year of operation and by quarter for the second year. Okay, month by month. For the first year we have 12 statements, and for second year we have 3 statements because by a quarter. Prepare balance sheet for each of the first 2 years of operation. Okay, if you are in the third years, this is the financial history. The third element of financial plan. We have the first element which is operating and or startup costs. The second financial analysis, and the third is financial history for an existing business which has which is in the third year of existence. This is the elements of business plan, which is the most important element in the financial plan, which is the most important element in business plan. This is the element that we focus to give you money or no. Okay, you must contact us. You must defense your startup or your project to give you money by bank and creditors, and also for having partners. Okay, I was very happy to be with you in this element and this explanation, and see you in the last element of business plan, which is risk analysis. Okay, I was very happy. Thank you. Thanks for your attention. Ciao.